And there you go, you're live streaming. So, and I think that was Mr. Holder that was probably asking for the link.
Mm-hmm.
So, Mr. Holder, here is the YouTube link.
You're live streaming. Oh, okay.
There is the live streaming link right there for you, sir.
On the train, see it next to this. Wait a minute. Okay. And then I also put the Go Team website in the chat too, that has the link. Okay, so since we're streaming, we'll go ahead and get started. So good afternoon and welcome to Dunbar's Go Team meeting, where we will follow the agenda as it has been emailed to you and publicly noticed. I would like to remind everyone that this is a meeting of the Go Team. Only members of the team may participate in the discussion. Any members of the public present are here to quietly observe. For members of the Go Team, please identify yourself when you speak. I am pleased to call this meeting of the Dunbar's Go Team to order at 3:46 p.m. Our first order of business is to call roll, and the secretary will now take the roll.
Okay. Dr. Wright.
Present.
Okay. Sharonda Hall. Jada Gibson. Doris Howard, that's myself. I'm present. Ashley Palmer.
Present.
All right. Keith Tennyson.
Present.
Okay. Watrina Watson. Hey.
Present.
How you doing? Dr. Holder. Dr. David Holder.
Present.
Okay. And Miss Nikki Coffin.
Present.
All right. Thank you. It's so good to see everyone.
Okay. This team will only be able to take official action if a quorum is present. Ms. Howard, is there a quorum present?
Yes, we have a quorum.
Okay. Our first order of business is to approve the agenda. This was provided to you. Are there any changes to the agenda? All right. May I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I approve.
A second?
Second.
All in favor, please say aye so the secretary can record your vote.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions? Please say abstain. The agenda has been approved. We will review and approve the meeting minutes from our last meeting. The minutes have been provided to you. Are there any corrections? If there are no further corrections, may I have a motion to approve the previous meeting's minutes?
I approve.
A second. Okay. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions? Please say abstain. Okay, the previous minutes have been approved. And we will now move to the discussion items on our agenda presented by Dr. Wright, and she will present the school strategic plan followed by a data discussion and the stakeholder engagement.
Hello, everyone. Thank you all for being here. I always appreciate you all being here. I always appreciate you all being here. Go ahead, Doris. Doris is going to navigate for me. I am actually sitting outside of the doctor's office waiting. Ava fell, one of the twins fell in class, so I'm sitting in my in the car doing this. So Howard is going to navigate for me. All right, I'm ready. So today we're going to go through our strategic plan, and I have some really good news to share tonight. Go ahead. We're going to start off with our Our mission, vision is the same, but our SMART goals for May 2026, we're going to increase the number of students scoring in developing or above in reading. We're going to go from 30, decrease that, that bottom level mark or developing or above in reading by 3%, from 34 to 37%. Our target is 30%. So we've already met our initial target. We're just going to keep growing to make sure that we keep hitting that target even more. So we're going to go to 37%. And then in math, we're going to do the same thing. We want to go from 42% to 45%. We want to decrease the students that are not meeting that proficiency mark and move all the students over into developing and above. And we just want to make sure we decrease the number of students in the beginning and the beginning level. And so we're going to try to go from 42% to 45%. For attendance, we have really done a great job in growing in our attendance. We're going to keep growing. We want to increase that goal by 3%, 68 to 71%. I could tell you last year at this time, we were sitting at a 54%. And today we're actually sitting at a 78%. So we are going to try to keep this going all year long so we can see those gains and do a really good job. In order for us to meet these SMART goals of increasing proficiency, increasing the number of readers that we have in our buildings, increasing the number of students that are proficient in math, and having students to come to school every single day, we have some priorities that we're going to have in our building. And these priorities are aligned to APS strategic priorities and initiatives. And so APS have these big buckets of strategic priorities and initiatives. And then we take those initiatives and we look at our data, and then we come up with strategic priorities that we think is going to help us meet those marks and help us meet those targets. And so we have 11 priorities that we have been working with. And these are the 11 priorities that we have. And then once you look at the priorities, you're like, well, Lakisha, Dr. Wright, how are we going to get to those priorities? Then we have those specific strategies on the side that help us meet those priorities. So offering an academically challenging curriculum that prepares students for college and career readiness, effectively implement a literacy curriculum to include explicit instruction. We want to effectively implement a math curriculum. We want to use existing and appropriate tools to measure, analyze, and communicate student progress. We want to monitor attendance protocols and systems, create a collaborative, inclusive, and responsive school culture. We want to build teacher capacity to meet the academic needs of all of our students. We want to create a supportive work environment that motivates and retains staff. And we want to provide necessary resources to enhance teaching and learning in all spaces. We want to attract and build capacity of talented and knowledgeable staff to meet the school needs. And we want to build and sustain parent engagement, community partnerships, and student voice. And how we're going to do that are those strategies that are listed right there on the side. These are our priorities that we have come up with based on our data in order to meet those 3 SMART goals at the top. You can go ahead. And so as a team, I would definitely want us to have this discussion about how we're ranking those priorities. As you all know, you all have worked with me now for over a year. It's very hard for me to say that this is the first priority down to the lowest priority. So all of them will be a focus for us, but we definitely have to rank them according to what we're going to what our priorities are going to be. And so what I did was I took, as you all know, we are a state turnaround school. And so I meet with the state every week. Every Wednesday, I am with the state, but I'm also with them 3 other days during the week. So we come up with, I had to do this with them also. So that's another reason why it's already done, because we took our data from last year, our map data from this year, and we had to do some preliminary rankings. And so I told them, after we meet today, you all can look at the rankings. We can shuffle them around. Ms. Howard would take notes on where I need to shift some things around, and then I'll take it back to them tomorrow when they come to the school for me to show them what we landed on. So this is what we did based on us getting off the list. So in order for us to get off the state turnaround list, we have to meet our targets in reading, math, and attendance. In order for us to reach that mark, we need to increase our scores at least by 1.9%. So as y'all know me, I'm like 1.9%. No, we're going for 3%. So we're going to go double that, almost. It's not double, but we got to go 3% to make sure that we meet that goal. And the only way we do that is we're going to offer a challenging curriculum that prepares all students. That's making sure every teacher is teaching to the intent of the standard with rigor and precision. Implement the literacy and math curriculum. This year we had an influx of exceptional education students. So we want to make sure that we're creating an inclusive environment for all the students that we have there and celebrate all the different cultures that we currently have in the building. And so we definitely want to do that. We want to build and sustain parent engagement, community partnerships, and student voice. We want to use our existing and appropriate tools to measure and analyze, just using all those data pieces that we have. We want to make sure that we stay focused on that attendance. We won an attendance award for last school year because we grew 13.3%. So we did win that award. So we want to make sure we keep that up. And right now we're up by 7.5% from where we were last year. So we're doing extremely well. We want to keep building teacher capacity. We want to create a supportive work environment. Our culture is really good, but we want to keep motivating and retaining our staff, provide necessary resources. I can't think of a time when we've said no for any resource that any teacher needs there. And we want to keep attracting and building a talented and knowledgeable staff at our school. We have some really great new teachers that are excited and all about student learning, but we want to keep that going by increasing by branding and showing all the great things that we have going on at the school. So this is just a thought, and based on the data, I would love to hear from you and move any of these priority rankings anywhere that you think we need to move or shift some things around. We could definitely do that. So I'll stop talking and give you the opportunity to look over that, and we can shift and move however you all feel we need to move.
Well, just feedback. I'm looking at the list and I really think it looks great because we're focusing on, we want to move children. We want to make them successful. So we're focusing on that curriculum, but we're also focusing on that parent engagement, because without the parents, we can't truly reach the students. So just my personal feedback, I think this list looks, the way it is, looks good. Yeah.
Matrina, David, y'all have questions? Tennyson, Palmer?
No.
Okay.
No,
Yeah, I don't
think
have
it
any
looks-
questions.
I think it looks great, and I think you've touched all the areas in order for us to get off the list.
That's still going to stay focused on instruction, still going to make sure we focus on our data, but yes. So here we go. And if you look at it even more later and you're like, well, Lakisha, I want you to move this, I want you to move that, please let me know, okay? and we'll come back as a team and say, hey guys, this is what we've done so far. Okay. So when we're connecting our strategic plan and our continuous improvement, we're going to do just that. Our priority is to increase literacy proficiency, math proficiency, and attendance. And we just went through our SIP SMART goals, and our indicators are always going to be immediately those MAP scores, but more importantly, those GMAT scores at the end of the year. And I'll present that data today. And we're constantly looking at our CCRPI attendance data. There's not a day go by where we're not looking at our attendance data, and we're taking that MAP data and breaking it out by grade level, by subgroups, and just making sure that we're hitting all students in the building, because our goal is to increase the number of proficient readers in that building. We will have 100. If the state was to test us today, we will be testing 150 students. And so we need for those students to be proficient. And that's what we're going for. So this is just how we are connecting our strategic plan with the district plan, by making sure that we're constantly looking at those data points and making changes throughout the year. Making changes is really weekly. We're looking at this data weekly to make sure that we're moving students in the building. And when you see our data, you'll see we are moving students at Dunbar Elementary School. So the first thing I want to show you is our MAP data. So last year we tested 150. This year we tested 152 students. You always want your students to be in the orange, yellow, green, and the different colors of blues. That's where you want your students to be. Right now, this data shows us that we have 42% of our students in red. We have 28% in orange, 20% in yellow, 7% in green, and then a very small percentage of our students are already on grade level. So as you can see, we have some work to do. So that 42% did not scare us at all. We know what we have in the building, but we have put some plans in place to reduce that 42% and increase those other numbers in order for those students to receive and have access to the curriculum that they need. So last year at this time, we were sitting at an ELA at 51% of our students. And so this graph right here kind of gives you a correlation of where you think you're going to land if you were to take milestones at the end of the year. So this, and MAP is an adaptive test, so it gets harder as the students take it, as the students grow in their curriculum. So by the time GMAS happened, of course, we were thinking, okay, we got 51% in blue over here, 47 over here. And then by the time we got to milestones, we were anticipating to be in the 40%, right? But we ended up at 38%, and I'm gonna show you how. Still met the target, but we were thinking we were gonna be a little bit higher than what we were, but I'll show you where we fell a little bit short, but we still met our target. Our fall MAP data, we're showing that we're 44% of our students are making gains. Same thing in math, doing pretty well. Spring kind of fell a little short. Our spring data always makes us feel like we've done nothing all year. You're like, what happened? And then once they take milestones, you're like, thank God, something came through. But this is what our data is showing us. This is the first year we've had a special education subgroup. And those students are rocking and rolling. Interventions are being held, and we also have a Black African American subgroup. Also, we've always had that, and the data is here. For our MAP achievement is that they have they're proficient. They've met the target that for the assessment. So here, as you can see here in reading, of all of our students in this particular, I didn't label the graph that I do. This is our math growth. We have 45% of our students in red, 37%, 37% in orange, 12% in yellow, 4%, and so on. This right here shows us that we have the half and a half. Half of our students are meeting our movement towards proficiency. The other half, we have to work on that. We can tell you by name, if you come into our data room, by name, who the 42% are, who the 37% are, and what intervention block they go to, and what services that those students receive in order for us to move all of our students towards blue. So that is what we're doing at this time. And this is just the same data broken down to show you that 41%, we kind of hang out in the 41 to 43% in the red. The rest of our students are in orange and above. And so what we're trying to do is decrease that 41% to get the students in the orange, the yellow, the greens, because that lets us know that they are growing. But the ultimate goal is for everyone to be in the blue. That is our ultimate goal by the end of the school year. And the only way we do that is, like I said, we're doing interventions, and we'll start after school really soon. We make sure that there's explicit instruction in those reading groups. We've made our classes smaller. We've increased the number of staff members that we have to make the groups even smaller because we want that number to be reduced. And you all can definitely stop me at any time to ask any questions. So, as you all know, that, like I said, state turnaround school, in order to be that, that means you had to be at the bottom 5% for proficiency in ELA and math. And then the state comes in every day. They come every day, y'all. I mean, every day I interview for this job. Every day, I'm telling y'all. And so what they're looking for is growth. And this is what we have so far. In 2024, our data shows 68%, but as you can see, we decreased by 1% in third grade, which is amazing because third grade is where we saw the least amount of gains this school year, but we did decrease from what we saw last year, and that's because of third grade is just difficult. That is where students have to access the curriculum a little bit differently, but we did decrease our red there by 1%. In fourth grade, we increased our red, but we understand why and what we needed to do differently there. Fifth grade, same thing. The numbers look like they increased here, but decreased there. But overall, we did show a lot of gains. Math, same thing. We went up in one area, we went up in one color, went down in the other color, but overall, the yellow, the green, and the blue increased. Hello? Can someone ask some question?
I don't think so. I just had to mute some.
Oh, okay. Keep going. Same thing here. We have so much work to do in ELA. I mean, so much work to do. These are our third grade scores from last year. They are now our current fourth graders. We knew on the first day of school that it was going to be a lift, but we also know that the kids that we tested on the first day of school was not the kids that we tested with in the spring. That grade level grew so fast, so quickly, that we knew that we had some deficits there. We had students that they've never been in school before. We had a lot of different barriers that we had to tackle, but 67% of those students fell in the red last year. We're looking to decrease that number by 20%. That's our internal goal. That's not the goal that you saw, 3%, but we're looking to decrease that number. And we think we can based on the system that we currently have, the interventions that we currently have. And believe it or not, it may say red here, but the results of the growth that those students made was amazing. The growth was absolutely amazing Proficiency, we didn't hit the achievement level, but we did hit the growth, and that's what we were so proud of. This year is going to look even better. Math for third grade, here we go, 45% in the red. The rest of the students were in the yellow, was in the green. And you know what the problem with the math was? It was the reading. So once we shore up those reading skills, then those math skills will come right along. So we're not worried at all. We just know this data is going to look totally different in May or whenever they decide to give it to us this year. You can keep going. Here, same thing, ELA, 69% of our students fell in red for achievement, but look at their math. So we knew that we needed to do something. We needed to do something very drastic to produce readers in our building. And so, like I said, the achievement data wasn't there, but the growth was. So those students have grown and grown and grown and grown and grown, and I can't wait for us to see their data. Fifth grade, once they hit fifth grade, it's just like, oh my gosh, they kind of get it, right? So fifth grade data, 46 is like half and half for ELA and half in math, of meeting the targets, not meeting the targets, but completely growing. Everyone is growing and growing and growing and growing. So we're pretty excited about what those students are doing over at King Middle School or wherever they decided to go. But we had a really great group last year. We see that we have the same thing going on this year. So we're pretty excited about our data. Fifth grade science, just blew it out the water. Our target in fifth grade science was 29%, and as you can see, we hit over 50% in science. So you see that the reading is a challenge, but then they do so well in math, they do so well in those other subject areas, and then you see here they're killing it in science. So once we shore up those reading skills, oh my gosh, I cannot believe I'm just too excited about what the data is going to show. And those students are real, they come in the door excited about what they've read the night before. So once we've sparked this community and got the parents involved and the teachers are involved, we got interventions, we got teacher tutors, we got after school, everybody is helping and everyone's focus is increasing literacy in the building. We have our partners even helping with coming in, reading with the students at lunchtime. We have, what's that? Clark Atlanta, Spelman, everyone is coming in to increase this data. And it's just reading all the time, just exposing the students to literacy. And as we're doing that, we see our data is increasing everywhere else. So we're hoping to see those achievement scores increase in literacy also this year. We're like I said, we're pretty excited. So the glows and the grows, for third grade, a combined 24 to 33% of our students are scoring in the developing range across subject areas. That's an increase from what we saw last year. The proficient and the distinguished students in both areas in reading and math can be seen in our fourth grade. And those were those third graders, that did perform as well as we would have liked for them to perform. That is a glow in our map data. In fifth grade, the data shows that the students are showing growth over time in comprehension, reading response, they're understanding grade level text. They're just doing a really good job of understanding. Science shows great improvement just across the district alone. We are really making sure that science is a priority in our school. It is part of our focus every single day. There are some of our grows, they're pretty obvious. We have to increase the number of readers that we have in our building. Literacy has to be a focus, not only in the school, outside the school, just everywhere our students are going. We have to increase the number of readers in our building. Our literacy framework, we've shored it up. We make changes as we need to make changes. We're modeling reading in the building. We're modeling how expressions of text. We're making sure every student is taking home books and building their libraries at home. So we're really focusing on having a literacy rich school. Consistent focus on numeracy foundations. Sometimes you get so focused on one area that you fall short of another one. We've made so many gains in math. We don't want to lose that. So we're constantly coming up with ways to incorporate math facts, math strategies everywhere those students go into the building. So we want to make sure we keep that. And we also have targeted interventions and instructional scaffolds in the building to move the students to proficiency. Like I said, we've changed our schedules to make sure that we have an intervention block. We also make sure that during small group instruction, students have two teachers that they're seeing. They either have they have two teachers and certified staff that works with them, meaning they may go to the math interventionist, as Miss Howard that's on here. They may go to Miss Palmer for enrichment. They may go to Miss Israel for reading. They may go to they have a writing focus in their science and social studies class. Everywhere those students are going, they are meeting with another certified staff member to assist them with instruction, including our exceptional ed staff, which is amazing, to go in and see those SDI strategies, that is assistive technology being used in order for those students to access the curriculum. So here are some of our glows and here are some of our grows, and we are on target to successfully accomplish our priorities. Is this hard work? Absolutely. Do we have to be flexible and change things sometimes based on what the student present? Absolutely. But the changes that we're having to make now and be reactive to, it is growth. We have to make sure that we are meeting them where they are. And sometimes they shock us, and to the point where we're just screaming in excitement. And then we have to go and reshuffle our plans because they've exceeded what we thought that they could do the week before. So we are making gains, and we are going to meet our goals. So I probably should have given you all these questions before I went through all of that data, so you could think about, what did you notice? What are some of your wonderings? Looking at the trends on the map in the end of the year assessments and subgroups. What do you see? Or if you have any questions, like I said, you can always stop me about data. If you have any questions about it, I would be happy to answer or discuss any data points that you have.
I don't have any, this is Tennyson. I don't have
okay.
any questions, but I did notice that we did make a lot of gains, especially in science. And based on our meetings with the state that happen every week, our attendance, CCRPI has increased. So I do feel confident that we will be off the list and because of those necessary gains that we make.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so too. We just have to stay focused and stay very consistent and intentional with those reading groups. Fourth grade, especially, just making sure that those groups stay small enough that they are going to their groups and that everybody is prepared and have everything that they need in order to meet the needs of those students. Other than that, I think that we are definitely on the right path. I don't care what class I go into or how many times I go into a classroom. I'm going to see student discourse. I'm going to see vocabulary instruction. I'm going to see writing instruction. I'm going to see those things. One of the data pieces that we can't see is we had 28 students in grades 3 through 5 that was within 10 points of proficient of a proficient score. That's a lot of students, right? That just some of them was like 3 points away, 5 points away. So if we just keep pushing those students, they'll hit the target this year. We're doing the writing every single day. And as I tell the staff every Tuesday or every other Tuesday when we're doing faculty meetings, we have to shore up our writing instruction in the building because that's where we missed some really valuable points. We grew those students like crazy in reading, but we need to also make sure that we do just as well in the writing aspect of it. And I think we'll be okay.
And I want to make a point too, Dr. Wright, the schedules that you have for everybody. I already see we've only implemented it for about a week now as far as the specialists in revising and giving that
Yeah.
support. But when I went into a classroom or whatever, I just see all hands on deck. And I just want to make that clear to everybody. It's like we're so in sync now. Not saying we weren't in sync before, but it's just the even just a sense of urgency that we have throughout the building that I'm personally seeing. I just know we're going to make gains just by doing
I
that.
think so.
So
I
yeah.
think and I appreciate all the flexibility. Dr. Holder and Watrina and Miss Nikki, we every week we get our data, and once we got our map data, we created this plan and we recreated teacher schedules to meet all the needs of the students. Yesterday, when I went into fourth grade, went into a fourth grade class, when the groups was split up, I think a teacher was only left with about 8 to 10 students. Other than that, you have some truly small groups of students that you're working with. That's how many staff members we have dedicated to our small group instruction and intervention in order for the students to get exactly what they need. And this is in reading and in math. And we'll start breaking those groups up for science in about 2 weeks. Right now, science is doing fine, how they are, but we know that we're going to give it some attention too because we want to, if we already at 55%, if we break them into smaller groups, we can definitely move up a lot more in that area.
And I just want to say I want to appreciate everything that you all have been doing, Dr. Wright, and the teachers and the efforts that you all have been putting in, to actually make our students better and they're gaining and learning and I definitely want to make sure that I give you all your flowers now to
Right.
let you know that I for me, I definitely appreciate everything that you all are doing over there at the elementary school. Just for me, seeing some of the kids over here at that comes over for the after school program here at Park and Recreation. I sometimes go down and look in on them and see what they're doing, and and they're doing their homework and doing other things down there, and they seem like they are happy, to even be doing homework down there. It's not like but they are doing their homework, and I think we have about 50 students from Dunbar that does come over here to the after school program. So I just want to go ahead and give you all y'all flowers up front to let you know I definitely appreciate everything you all are doing for the students over at Dunbar Elementary School.
Thank you, and we appreciate the experiment. The experiment went right into our lesson, so we appreciate you all helping boost our science. The kids love the activity, so whenever y'all want to come on back, come on back. We have chickens now, so everybody has been coming over to see all of our chickens. So come on back and check them out. Go ahead, Miss Howard. This is where we are. We are here. It tells you. I'm gonna let Miss Palmer start here. You tell us where we are and where we're going.
Okay. So we are, give me 1 second. Okay, so Go Team is currently in stage 4. So the Go Team reviews the progress and the strategic plan. And so right now we are in the stages of developing the strategic plan for the next 5 years. And then if I'm not mistaken, we do get input from the team, correct? And it's like an ongoing process. And then the feedback that we get from the team, we develop it from there. And I believe when is the strategic plan finalized?
So
Is that
our
before
state
winter
one,
break?
yeah,
It,
it is. It was already finalized. Our state one, we just have to turn in our priorities based on after this meeting. And then we'll turn it in. But it's just ongoing. And then we'll, like I said, we'll rank our strategic plan priorities again, and then we'll go into budget discussions to make sure it all aligns. But it's just constantly, it's a work in progress. It's never, it just never ends, to be honest. The district
Right.
turns in their 5-year plan, they readjust it. But since we are a state turnaround school, we submit in January. We submit in May after we get our data. We submit again to the district in August. We have the discussions right on fall break. It is a constant working, breathing document when you are a CSI school. I don't know what the other schools' timelines are because I've been so into this one, but pretty much every so many weeks or every so many data pieces for us as a CSI school, we're meeting with district leaders and state leaders to make adjustments as we need it. Okay.
if I may interrupt, Principal
Mm-hmm.
Wright, this is
Mm-hmm.
Diane Jacoby.
Yep.
So just to let you know, you will be creating, and
Mm-hmm.
the team will be building out a 25-30 strategic plan.
Right.
Um, Strategic plans are a little different than continuous improvement plans in that
Sure.
they are broader, less detailed, and for like 5 years, where your continuous
Absolutely.
improvement plan, just like you said, is that more implementation and the management, the how are we going to get there. So to answer the question about when will you be approving your strategic plan, in the next 2 meetings that you all are going to be having this semester,
Mm-hmm.
you'll be talking about the strategic plan. You'll be looking at what your current year's plan is and kind of trying to build that out towards 2030. And then at not the next meeting, but the second one, you
Okay.
will be approving that plan, and getting ready for that fiscal year 27. And it should all, I mean, it's not going to be that terribly different,
No,
but yes, there is going to be that focus on a strategic plan in your next 2 meetings.
absolutely. When we saying by 2030, oh, it's about 80% of our students with blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Come on. We're ready, Miss Howard. Any additional questions about data? Well, I guess you just asked a question. Any other questions? Okay. I'm gonna keep going, Miss Howard. Last time we didn't get a chance to do stakeholder engagement at our school to talk about how we're going to involve our key stakeholders in our building, and that is very important. And we talk about that, about how we play a vital role in any decision making that we have, and just bringing everyone together so they can participate. And that includes the families, the students, the staff, and our different community members. Go ahead, Ms. Howard. So we have 4 groups: our families, our students, our staff, and our community. And for each group, we'll ask and answer 3 questions. Inform: what's a fun or unexpected way to keep them in the loop? Input: what's a meaningful way to get their ideas or feedback? Invite: how can we bring them into the work, not just as an audience, but really get feedback, input from all stakeholders in order to make everyone feel like they've been heard, and just take that information and turn our school into just a more engaging school. Go ahead, Ms. Howard, and Ms. Howard would definitely take notes. So for our families, is there a fun or unexpected way that we can keep them in the loop? Right now we do newsletters and we do have a website, but are there any other ways that we could keep our families, our students, our staff, and our community in the loop that you all can think of? And Ms. Palmer, I'm gonna let you take it away, and Ms. Howard, you can definitely fill in for us. Fill in the, you could just take notes and then we'll send it out based on what we've stated.
And I have a question. Are we sticking with family or can we kind of move around?
Yes, you can move around. Absolutely.
Because I actually thought about involving the community. A good way is, and I don't know when we have career day or whatever, but I think that would be a good way to go out into the community and ask, people, businesses in the community to come in, talk about their business or talk about what they do, just to involve more people. Like I said, just involve people in the community. So just when
Yeah.
we have career day, for us as a staff to just get out into the community.
Oh, that
Um,
would be fun. And because right now we just do the police officer, the fire department, we did the farmers, but that would be awesome to, bring in all the other careers right there in our community. That's a great idea. We could definitely write that down so we could tell Dr. Ragland to do just that because we can get Holder and Watrina right there. Come
yes.
on over. Yeah, so
Yes.
definitely involve our career for career day. Um, we have the Dunbar Center that comes over weekly now, so that's been awesome. That the coaches come over weekly just to see where the students what's the focus is, so they'll know what to work with them on homework time. So that's been an awesome partnership.
And actually, Doc, and I'm not trying to
Yeah,
monopolize, but what was interesting is when we saw the coaches come in,
yeah,
some of the kids that were having challenges or what have you, they just saw their coach and they kind of changed a
they
couple of
changed
their
too really
behaviors.
quickly, didn't they?
Yeah, so just having, like I said, that, like you said, those community people, partners coming in, and because they interact with our students outside of the school, um, I just know they're having a, how do you say, you're,
That's a very yes, it's a
yeah,
very positive impact.
uh, yes,
So they do 3 days a week. So we could definitely tell them we can definitely do targeted volunteer classroom visits. We could tell them where we would like for them to be versus, having them to go to the same areas. So definitely, we could do that for our business, just involving our community a little bit differently. Maybe we could have maybe like a Google form out there to say, hey, how would you like to volunteer? We've done that before and we didn't get a lot of participation, but now maybe now our community is ready since our engagement has increased so drastically. Last year we would have about 7 people, 20 people. Now we're busting at the seams, over 100 participants every time we have something. So we could definitely, instead of what we when we have them there for curriculum night, ask them how would they like to be, how would they like to volunteer? What programming would they like to see? We could definitely do that. The next big one that's coming up is Thanksgiving, and November is Family Engagement Month. So we could definitely ask more questions at that time.
Okay, yes, that was going to be my suggestion. Putting like a little sign up out there or a committee to say, how would you like to be involved? Because I find that when parents get to choose the way they want to be involved, they're a little bit more committed to it. And I know what I've seen at another school is they develop like a parent council where parents from various grade levels. They kind of have like their own council and they find ways to support the school, whether it be bringing in other parent volunteers or coordinating events So that might be an idea we can think of too.
Okay, that's a good idea. That's
I
a
have
really
some,
good
I
idea.
have some ideas for students. For students, we don't have like a student council. So fifth grade, the upper grades, grades 3 through 5, could be part of a student council. We could have student ambassadors. Fifth grade, they have to do an exhibition project for IB. So that is a
Mhm.
good way for student voice. And when we have parent teacher conferences, have the students to lead the conferences,
Oh
because
yeah.
that's a part of the IB student voice ownership. And also
Okay.
encourage a lot of students to do like some peer mentoring.
Okay. I like the peer mentoring. I've loved that. When I saw those fifth graders go down to pre-K week and read to them, I was like, oh, we got to do more of that. Hmm.
Yes, and the Beta Club will be doing more of that.
Oh, yay! Beta Club. I love the Beta Club.
Yes.
I do. And I like the idea of having student government, safety team. We didn't do a safety patrol. We could definitely do that to make sure we help those little kinders get to class. We could do that.
Mhm.
Okay. We could definitely do
Also,
that.
also, with the literacy, the math nights, um, and to continue to get parents to with as far as the communication piece with the class dojo, the newsletters, surveys. We
Parent
used to have
portal.
Remind 101, but I don't think we have that anymore.
We
Um,
If that's a suggestion and we like it, then we definitely can explore those options.
okay.
Because right now we're just using uh, Infinite Campus to discuss, but
Hmm.
we only have about 47% of our parents that are connected to Parent Portal. They still get the emails that we sent out, but it will be great if we had more Parent Portal um,
Hmm.
parents that have more access to that. And we definitely can still do Remind. We use Class Dojo for everything.
Hmm.
So the majority of our parents, I think we were in the 90 percentile, the 90% something of our parents are connected to Class Dojo and use it. So we definitely can start sending out messages that way also.
And also with the science fair coming up November the 19th, we could have like a family inquiry night where the kids could have something like a showcase before the showcase, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Where they could present their projects to the community before, because 3 through 5, those projects will go on to the district. Um, but have them to have like a family inquiry night where they can actually showcase, and parents will come out if they know that their kids are presenting. So
Okay.
that would be a good way to bring in the community aspect as well as in addition to the student and the staff aspect.
Okay. So we definitely want to write that down because that date is going to come up on us super fast. So we need to get with Hadley for that. Okay.
Okay, I've
So,
already drafted an email for. I got
oh, look at you.
you.
What meaningful way, I guess we've been talking about that too, but putting an input box out there, surveys. We do have our newsletters, but that go out on Thursday. But let's make sure we send our newsletters out to all of our partners and make sure we add it to our Go Team members also. So, when they are out in the community, they'll know what's happening at Dunbar also and make sure that they're on our calendar list. So they'll get the calendar automatically every Thursday also, so they'll know what's happening for the month. I think that's important. And then if we can, I love the parent council. Um, I love that. And having the parent input sessions, I love that. Parent chats, I think that would be really cute. Now, when we have those community circles for the students, start having some parent chats or parent what's it like a just something quick where parents can run in and talk to the leadership team, give suggestions on certain things, and and it's nothing to hold them there extremely long, but a way that they can just provide feedback to us.
And
Because
with
right
that,
now, we're getting feedback at the parent pickup line, and then they'll email us though. But we need something more official and routine and ritual where we can say this is the Dunbar way of collecting input from everyone.
Could we have something like muffins for mom and donuts for dads to get more of the parental involvement?
Absolutely. And we can push less talk, and let them know that
Yes.
less talk is also available for them
Mm-hmm.
also. But they can also make sure that we're just accessible to everyone. Make sure that they know how they can get information to us. So Doris, I know we've been all over the place, and you can put some stuff in play, put some information in place for us on the chart, and then we'll send it out, and we can keep adding to it. But we definitely need to have Miss Hatley as a part of that conversation, our project manager. Miss Womack, those would be their student success team, our partnership team, all of those teams. We can ask them these same questions and ask for their input also.
Yes, ma'am. I will make sure I get that out to everybody. And I think Dr. Holder has his hand raised.
Yeah, I was gonna say, oh shoot, I was gonna say I would
Right,
suggest.
Doc.
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I would suggest um, I would suggest the class newsletters and the class dojo to share with the
Mm-hmm.
parents more of what's happening in the classroom.
Yes. Yes, and we'll do that and then print and send it home also. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
And to piggyback off what Dr. Holder said, maybe a student of the month. Do you all do like students of the month for
We
each
do.
grade level?
We do,
Huh?
but you know what?
Okay.
We need to put that on the website, and we probably need to send something home to say that, because right now it's just in the building on the wall, and we just celebrate it, but we definitely need to make that a bigger deal and maybe have a little spotlight on the website that says, here's the student of the month. Or maybe when we have a monthly programming, we make sure we invite those student of the months and say, hey, here's our student of the month, IB student of the month. They, like, what's this month, Tennyson?
Inquirers.
Inquirer. So each grade level picks up. We do one for each grade level teacher too, right?
Well, each classroom has a student of the month based on the learner profile for that month. So
Yes. And so
we have 18 per month. 18 kids are recognized per month.
so we
Um,
we definitely got to put that. So I know we take their pictures and stuff. We should give that to Marcy Jackson and put it on the website or something.
Okay.
Just spotlight them more, because we just keep that in house. That would be good for
yeah,
sure.
that
That's a good way. Hmm.
that'd be great for the for us to know the student of the month, or sometime maybe have invite the community leaders or like the council people to come have lunch with the students of the month for
Oh
that particular month.
yeah.
Invite them out. These are the students of the month. We're gonna eat lunch with them.
Oh, let's
So
do
I
it.
yeah.
Now that would be super cute. Then everyone would want to be the student of the month too,
They
right?
really
I
would.
love that. I love that. I love that. Y'all know y'all gonna be first, right? Come on over,
No,
David. All right. Okay. My report is just the data that we just have gone through. I did not put our school name on here. I'm so sorry. Keep going, keep going, keep going. All right, enrollment. Let's talk about our money. If y'all remember last year, we were talking about, oh, we're not going to make a lot of changes because we didn't know what the financial state of our budgets would be based on our enrollment. So our projected enrollment was 269. By the 15-day count, we were at 279. Today, we're sitting at, I think, 317. So we had, at that time on the 15th day when it mattered, we was at plus 10. We were at plus 10. So we were at, I'm sorry, I just got a text message saying we were at 320 today. But on the 15th day, which that's the day that matters with APS, for funding purposes, we had 10 over our enrollment number. So that was 10 different. So we ended up receiving an additional $59,620 now. Now I would have loved to get the money for the other students that we have, but that's not how it works. But we did earn an additional $59,620 from the leveling. Keep going. I'm sure what else we had. And then you remember last year we had about $75,000 and we have about $75,268 in reserve plus that 59,000. And you remember we were talking about what we should do with that money, and I was like, well, we're just going to keep it in the event we don't meet our enrollment numbers. We'll take that reserve and we'll make sure we keep all of our staff intact by pulling money. But we didn't have to do any of that. This year, we were able to get the extra funding from the plus 10 enrollment, and we also have our leveling money. But you remember last year, we were like, oh, we need a special education lead teacher full time, but we couldn't afford to do just that. We couldn't do just that. So we decided to wait till we got this money this year. And so what I did was I went to our leadership team, showed them the numbers that we have in the special education department. We went from 11 to 55 in a school year, and there was no way we could manage the caseloads on all of the needs of those students in addition to our general ed population without having a dedicated staff member. So we had a part-time person, and now we have a full-time and a part-time person. So we have a self and a half that is dedicated to those students, and it has made a difference. Those two are like powerhouses together. I have an amazing team, exceptional ed team. So I look forward to seeing what they're going to do together. But that is what we did with the funding. We talked about it last year. That was something we really truly needed. That's something we wanted to put the focus in. We shifted some staff members around in order to receive the funding and try to, save funding here, there, and the other. And it paid off this year. So we actually did what we said we were going to do. So I was really excited to get to this slide to say we did what we said we were going to do. We hired a special education lead teacher. She's already started, and she is she's working really hard to support our students. We didn't have any Title I holdback money, so that was zero for us. Like I said, with the budget adjustments, we did do a special education lead teacher to support the tremendous growth that we have had in the exceptional education department. And so this is where, as everyone knows, that there is a comprehensive long-range facilities plan where we are reshaping the future of education. And there has been a task force formed. They have been meeting. There has been several meetings throughout the year. We had a community meeting at Dunbar a couple of weeks ago. Dunbar really showed up. We had an amazing turnout. Thank you, Go Team, for doing just that. We should have more information soon. I know that there's going to be some plans about the November meeting. The first read should happen at that meeting. I think these are the presentations are on there, the scenarios are on there, everything that that we need to know. The survey is still out there. But I think that is it November 5th or November 10th is the next
November
meeting?
5th is the next
November
public
5th.
meeting.
It's the next meeting. So I know that you all have that information. I think I put the 10th on there because that's my birthday. I don't know what, I guess I was really thinking about my birthday made this, it's my twin's birthday too, but we'll change that and put the 5th on there as a meeting. I don't know where we got the 10th from. Is that the actual public meeting? When is the board
No,
meeting?
so originally these dates were correct, October 20th and November 10th. I think over the fall break they changed the dates. So the next one is what do we say? November 5th. I'm pulling up the website now. And then the next public meeting after the November one is in December.
Okay, so there'll be 2
And I'll
reads
pull that
at that.
up and put it in the announcements.
So there'll be a November read, first read, and then there will be another read in December. So those 2 board members will you will hear the plan in the November meeting of which scenarios that are going to be moving forward to the board, and they'll be seeking approval at that time. They'll have to make corrections if need be, and then in December they'll make the it'll go before the board again for approval. So those will be the 2 meetings that we need to listen in on, so we'll know the state of Dunbar. As we all know, Dunbar is a scenario. It was part of the scenario for the Jackson cluster to assist with reshaping of the future of education and this long range facilities plan. They didn't have they said early learning center. It would be repurposed for possibly a early learning center or for community good. They did come, the district did send out senior leadership. Dr. Johnson was there. Everyone was there to hear and receive information from our community that showed up. It was so amazing to hear all of the great feedback of what our needs are in our community. And so that information was given directly to the powers that be. And so now we're just in a wait game to hear what the district has to say. Okay. Any questions so far? All right, guys. Thank you all so very much for an amazing meeting. And if you have any questions, I'm here. You all have my phone number. If not, we
Miss
all are
Palmer
free
just
to
got
go
back
and
in here. She was out
you
of
said
the.
what now?
Miss Palmer is back.
Okay.
She's going in and out. I think she might have difficulties. Palmer, you there?
I'm here. Yes, not sure how I got disconnected, but I'm back in.
Okay. Any other questions at this time, y'all? Okie dokie. Well,
Okay.
thank you all. As always, you all are so amazing.
All right. And Dr. Wright, if you can hang on for just a minute at the end, I would appreciate it.
Okay.
But thank you all for all that you're doing. If you need anything, don't hesitate to reach out to our office. We're here to help.
Okay. Thank you.
And Miss Howard, if you can stop streaming to YouTube, that would also be appreciated.
Will do.
Okay, well, I'll go ahead and close us out. There were no public comment signups, so just closing announcements. I just want to reiterate and thank you all for those who attended the October 8th community meeting. Thank you all so much. Just a reminder to complete your trainings. If there are any outstanding trainings, I will send those updates via email, so just look out for that. Our next meeting is November 18th, 3:30, and it will be virtual. So we have reached the end of our agenda. Is there any additional business at this time? Okay, may I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I motion.
A second?
Second.
All in favor, please raise your hand or say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please raise your hand.